Hey, help support the show by joining the Patreon or becoming a YouTube member. Also hit that like button to subscribe if you want more Cavs-focused content.
I can't wait for the playoffs. I can't wait to see this Cavs team hopefully hit their groove in the playoffs, because then after that, there will be no more excuses for folks to not pay attention or to give the Cavs the respect that they've earned throughout this process. Because every step of the way through this 60-win season and likely a one-seed season, the Cavs have been met with way more resistance than what is necessary for a team that is as talented as them and has accomplished what they've accomplished so far. It's been ridiculous. And yeah, the title says it right. The Cavs are just going to have to go into the playoffs and beat the disrespect out of these national outlets. Let's see what Perk has to say about what the Cavs can do in the playoffs.
I'm Tim Legler, Kendrick Perkins, I'm Malika Andrews, and we, just like all of you at home, we've been spending our afternoon trying to fill out our brackets ahead of the men's and women's NCAA tournaments. Two questions, though, keep popping up for me. I don't know about you guys. Is who's going to be the one that busts the bracket, and then who is going to be the Cinderella story, maybe? And since we're just over a month away from the playoffs getting started, I figured, why don't we put a little NBA twist on some of these questions? So, Perk, I ask you, what contender do you think could be on upset alert? And I mean true contender. Someone we have high expectations for that we need to be on upset alert for.
Well, I'll go as high as you want me to be, okay?
Here we go. What are you about to say?
I'm going with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
You got to be kidding me.
No.
I knew you were a non-believer.
I'm going with the Cavs.
You're a non-believer.
I'm going with the Cavs, Led.
Why is that?
For what reason?
For a lot of reasons, but the most important reasons, I have concerns about their small backcourt, okay, when it comes down to the postseason, right? And especially Darius Garland. I think he's going to go through those problems, those same problems that Steph Curry went through, right? Look at right here. They're going to search him out.
What? So he's saying, yeah, I want to get this correct. I want to understand the man's point. Darius is going to have to deal with those small guard problems that were so devastating to Steph Curry. Because Steph Curry, famously, easy to eliminate in the playoffs. Keep in mind, and again, if you listen to enough national coverage of the Cavs, you'll start to pick up on this. But I'll just point it out for those who don't. Every time they talk about the Cavs, I swear to God, it's like the Cavs have never been to the playoffs. It's like Darius Garland has never played a playoff game in his life. It's not like this team has been back to the playoffs. This is going to be the third year in a row in the playoffs? But every time the people bring up the problems the Cavs have in the playoffs, oh, God, Darius Garland, what's he going to look like in the playoffs? He's played, dog. He's looked good before. And then we go back to the 2022 issue with the Cavs. Well, they got that small backcourt. Well, that's what Evan Mobley's for. That's what DeAndre Hunter's for. That's what the two bigs are for. That's what Dean Wade is for. That is what all of these other guys, Max Strus, is for. I swear to you, man, sometimes it just feels like people are talking about the Cavs from 2 years ago, because I think the last time some of these people truly paid attention, really paid attention, right? Not just watched the game, but really paid attention to the Cavs was when they played the Knicks in 2022? I swear to you, I think that's the last time a lot of these people paid attention to the Cavs, because their criticisms come straight out of 2022, and they were valid concerns in 2022. Cavs didn't have much scoring behind those two. They didn't have much depth behind those two. This is a different team, though, with different options to go to. They don't even play Darius and Donovan a ton together. So, like, if the two small guards, like, that would make sense that the Cavs' best lineup and the lineup they relied on the most was the lineup that had both Darius and Donovan in it. But that's not true, right? They got Ty Jerome off the bench. He's a big guard. They could put him out there. Like, there's a lot of ways that the Cavs can counter the small backcourt thing. And they do. They've done it effectively. That's why they're a 61-win team as of recording this video. But we keep going back to 2022 problems with the Cavs. We ignore the fact that they won a playoff series the year prior. And the only reason they weren't competitive in the Boston series is because they had all these injuries: Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, 2 starters, 2 all-stars. And we just act like the last time the Cavs played in the playoffs was against the New York Knicks whenever it's convenient. It's wild to me.
Postseason. Right now, for as guys being hunted in the pick and roll, he's top 10 in the league. Also, the Cavs, Brown got the switch. It's not a big he wanted. He wanted Darius Garland. And check this out. Right through his chest, tomato chest, over the top, you too small. Check this out. Right through his chest, tomato chest, over the top, you too small. I'm thinking about the Celtics, and I think about they starting 5. There's no flaws with them defensively. They big all across the board. The Cavs, on the other hand, no.
That's very short-sighted on your part, Perk.
What the fuck? See, this is the problem I have with NBA media. This question was not if the Cavs could beat the goddamn Boston Celtics. This question was, who do you think is on upset alert if the Cavs lose to the Boston Celtics in the playoffs? That's not an upset. It's clearly not an upset. ESPN has made it clear to me that that cannot be considered an upset, because they have spent the last 7 months telling me why the Cavs cannot beat the Boston Celtics. Everything else be damned. So, no, don't tell me because they cannot beat Boston they're on upset alert. Please get out of my face with that. Because you, Kendrick Perkins, you, ESPN, national TV, have told me that the Cavs are not expected to beat the Boston Celtics. So this can't be about them being able to beat the Boston Celtics. And even in the game he pointed out where Darius Garland got hunted, the Cavs won the game. They came back by like 25 to win that game with Darius Garland on the floor. So what's the point? What's the actual point? Like, I swear to you, I don't think some of these people really watch the Cavs, because you saw Kendrick Perkins. He made to talk about the Cavs, but the only way he knows how to talk about the Cavs is they can't beat the Celtics. So what did he go into? A whole diatribe about how the Cavs can't beat the Celtics. What the hell does that got to do with the question? Did y'all notice that? Comment down below if you noticed that Kendrick Perkins was answering a different question than the one that he himself proposed. It's wild.
It's a valid point about Darius Garland.
Yeah.
They addressed it. And you look at their defensive numbers since they acquired DeAndre Hunter, it's different. He is the guy that is going to deal with a lot of these matchups. It'll be harder to now pick who you want to go at with him on the floor because of where they can put him at the start of the possession. DeAndre Hunter answers a lot of the problems for Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland defensively. That's one thing. You also have two legitimate big-time rim protectors behind you. So, look, if you want to beat up Darius Garland in the mid-range, it's fine. Beating him up off the dribble, trying to get to the rim, when you got Jared Allen and Evan Mobley on the court, it's a totally different matter. But here's the final point with the Cavs.
Yeah.
Their ultimate weapon is that they're prolific offensively.
Right.
This is one of the elite offenses we've seen in the NBA and really in modern times. That is really where they get you. They're a good defensive team, can be great at certain nights. They are a devastating offensive team.
I would be surprised, though, if the Cavaliers were eliminated, certainly in the first round, the second round. They need to make it to the conference finals.
Oh,
I would
no
be surprised
question.
anything besides that. You had a front row seat to the Cavaliers the other day.
And keep in mind, the question was like, who can be upset? And this is why I think the Cavs being the answer is just ridiculous. No disrespect to Oklahoma City, at the best record in the NBA. Look at how much more difficult it's going to be to get to the conference finals for Oklahoma City than it would be for the Cavs. Oklahoma City might have to deal with the Clippers like a 44-win team. Cavs won't play a 44-win team or a 50-win team until possibly the conference finals, maybe the semifinals, right? They are playing a 50-win team or a close to 50-win team off the jump, and then they get another team. Like, they're either going to play the winner of they're the 1 seed, so they would play the winner of what could be the Lakers versus not Denver. It's like either Golden State or Denver, or Lakers or Golden State. That's a much harder draw, right? Like, there's more possibility for upset for a contender in the West. Are we concluding the Rockets in this conversation? I don't think most people are, which is fair, right? I don't think people view the Rockets as a true contender, despite being the 2 seed in the West. But that's why I think the Cavs being in, not just because I'm a Cavs fan, but just like, look at the East, man. Like, the Cavs or the Celtics, it would be huge surprises if they didn't make it to the conference finals, given how the East does not look as strong as it has in previous years. But that's my whole point, man. It really does feel like sometimes that people do not watch the Cavs, that speak about them into the biggest megaphones, and that just sucks. But y'all have a great day. Have a better night. Peace.